And today I'm going to share how to choose a telescope.
And I'm going to share 2 easy exercise hacks. Let's get to it.
My cool sheet is going to be about how to choose a telescope. This is such an exciting time to be an amateur astronomer. Never before have novice stargazers been presented with such a vast array of telescopes at our fingertips and all these accessories to pursue this hobby. Or it doesn't even have to be a full-fledged hobby. It can just be every once in a while going out and just gazing at the wonders of the universe. But this is the thing, is that because there are so many telescopes out there, it also brings upon the burden of choice. All these telescopes, they're different ones, and it's hard to know what to buy. So this article that I am sharing is a wonderful guide because it helps you narrow your options. It first explores the basic features that are common to all telescopes, which is really great for a starting point. Then it delves into some of the specific designs of the most typical telescopes that are out there. And then comes the gold. They talk about the trade-offs of the different designs because every instrument has its advantages and its disadvantages, and they go through those with you. Some of the questions that they have you ask yourself first, though, include, what do you most want to look at? How dark is your sky where you live? How experienced of an observer are you? How much are you prepared to spend? That's an important one. Where are you going to store your telescope and how much weight are you willing to carry? All of these are crucial, I have found personally, as terms of questions that you want to ask yourself to get a telescope that you will actually use. Then they go into the basics of telescopes so you can understand the design features. And these sections are on aperture, magnification, focal length, and eyepieces. And then they go over all the different types of telescopes in terms of how they're constructed, how to choose which type it is depending on your interest, your budget, all of that. And it is really, really helpful even if you don't know much about telescopes or even if you do know a bit. So check out this article, How to Choose a Telescope.
Oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
And it's funny because as you were talking about this in the beginning, I started formulating questions that I was going to ask you after you were done, and you were like, every single one I had was in this article.
Yes.
So it sounds like I just need to go read the article.
You do. You really do.
Although I could ask you and then I would have to, but no, I do want to do. The only thing that I really want to know, because you do know more about telescopes in general, like could I see them? You know what my balcony looks like, but I live downtown. Like how possible is that? I know that light noise is a big factor.
It is.
You know, it's always better to be out away from city lights.
Yeah.
Is it worth having for me on my balcony, because since I don't have use a car and I can't really tote one to a field without trying to talk you into it or another friend.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure it wouldn't be too hard to talk you into gazing sometime out in the wilderness. But.
Yeah, you know what? I could bring mine over and we could see.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
Yeah, that would be really the best way to do it. It's not just so you have some context. I mean, there are lights. There are a lot of lights that are out there, and you only face one way.
Right.
So, and because I don't think you can see the moon, right?
I can when it first rises.
Okay.
Most of the time of the year.
Okay. Because the
moon
is really cool to look at.
Yeah.
There are all sorts of things. You can see different phases of it and stuff.
Yeah.
So
see that man on the moon?
Absolutely. Yes, that's right. Absolutely that. And the other ones, we'd have to try.
Okay. Well.
All right.
I'm going to check out the article and we'll give it a shot too sometime.
Yeah.
This will be fun.
Cool.
I'm going to be talking about 2 exercise hacks. You're getting a 2 for this time, but they're kind of related. So these 2 exercise hacks are called Greasing the Groove and Make It Easy. So greasing the groove. This idea has been around for a long time. I think I first heard about it from Ben Greenfield, who I thought was a former cool sheet. Maybe that's still in debate. I couldn't find it at this moment today. But I also was reading this article from The Atlantic, and it talked about lift weight, not too much, most of the days, which is similar. I love it because it's similar to Michael Pollan's words, eat food, not too much, mostly plants. So it's very easy to remember. But Greasing the Groove was introduced by Pavel. He's very famous. I can never say his last name. let's just look it up, or I'll put it on the graphics on YouTube. He's a very famous former Soviet Union trainer. He's wrote tons of books. He's also credited as the person that brought the kettlebell to America. So if a lot of people know what kettlebells are now, that's thanks to Pavel. And this isn't a direct interpretation from his formal training system, but more of an adaptation. And it's all about doing some kind of movement, exercise or weights throughout the entire day. Not just going to the gym and doing it for 30 minutes or however long your gym session is per day, but doing something a little bit every day. Now this is super important if you have a sedentary job. So if you have a desk job, if you're working from home right now, you know, a lot of people are doing standing desks. The desk behind me, it raises up, so I do a lot of that. But if you stand or sit, even if you stand and you never move, you're still doing a lot of those really things that are really bad for you. So they talk about taking shorter breaks. You could work in the Pomodoro technique with this and then work for 20 minutes and then go do some jumping jacks, you know, go on a rebounder, a little mini trampoline, which is a former cool sheet. Just do a couple push-ups, you know, if you have a kettlebell, do a couple presses or a couple swings, you know, but it's doing this accumulation over time throughout the day instead of just doing it all at once, because that's just training your body to be super still and your joints get tight, and then doing one exercise, one little chunk, and then you're sedentary again. It's not as good. It's actually better to just keep your stuff moving. So grease the groove, and making it easy is having things all around you. So do both those things.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is such a good reminder.
Yeah.
I can't do weights yet. I'm still recovering from an injury, but when I'm back at it, I'm totally gonna do.
Yeah, and it doesn't
kind of
have to
thing.
be super heavy. You know, these don't have to be like 100 pounds that you're pressing. In fact, more of Pavel's thing was don't do heavy weights to failure. It was like do shorter reps and more of them. So his was more about still that concentrated amount of time.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of coming out more and more. It's like do even less, but just do it more often.
That's cool.
It just keeps your body, it keeps burning calories throughout the day. Like I said, your joints won't get stiff. And so there are more things off screen, but there's a kettlebell right there, literally. I have other little weights around. I have my little rebounder out here when the set's not set up. And then there's other things that making it easy. So I had one of those pieces of equipment that took my bicycle, and you had to connect it, but I had to, you know, disconnect a screw and then plug it in, and then it would become a stationary bike.
Oh yeah.
But that was hard enough that I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Even though it seems really easy, but that took an extra 10 minutes. It doesn't sound like a lot, but if that's the barrier between exercising or not, it's not going to happen. So it never happened for me.
Mine is still in the box.
Yeah, see? So what I ended up doing is getting a treadmill, and I thought it was kind of ridiculous forever, but I stick that baby under my standing desk and I'll do a little walk.
Wait, is it here?
No, I have to move it.
Oh.
So right now it's in the bedroom, and as soon as as soon as we tear down the set, I'll roll it back out.
Gotcha.
If I'm watching a YouTube video or maybe a TV show, I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna spend a half hour, I'm at least gonna be walking. Doesn't have to be running, but I can walk on the treadmill, and I'm burning some calories.
Yeah.
And it's just, it has made all the difference in the world to keep my habit going.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And our links to all the show notes, everything that we're talking about in this episode, you can find them at 10bestest.com/girls. Thank you for joining us, friend. I'm Karen McFarland-Holman.
And I'm Brian Hart.
Let us know in the comments, are you thinking about getting a telescope?
And let us know, what's your favorite exercise hack?
If you're enjoying this show, please give us a like and share it with a friend.
Stay tuned tomorrow for another great show.
And don't forget to stay curious